Hello everyone, I'm Carolyn Ellis and I'm here with Katie Faniff.
Morning.
We are both members of Weston Garden Club and we are here to show you how to create step by step a floral design. Many people love to have fresh flowers in their home, but they are not sure at all about how to get them into a vase or container to get a really successful look. Weston Garden Club has a very broad mission. Our programs and our interests range from civic projects to conservation and to floral design. And Katie and I have learned so much from our programs with special guests and from other members.
Well, and today's demonstration will be a lot like one of our workshops in the Garden Club. In addition to a monthly speaker series, we have 2 floral design workshops every year where someone demonstrates an arrangement and then we all get to make it. And every time it amazes me, with the same containers, the same set of plant material, and the same example, the same design, every single arrangement is beautiful but very different. And it just amazes me that that happens consistently.
That's
so today we hope that you will be inspired to create your own beautifully unique arrangements.
It's so true, Katie. It's absolutely wonderful in the workshops to see what people do. And then we follow that with a little competition, which really is just like making you do your homework and making you go home and do again what you learned in the workshop, as Katie says, in your very own style. When you begin an arrangement, you need to come up with a vision. What do you want it to look like? Where's it going to go? What's the season? What's the purpose of this thing? When you have a vision, then you can choose the container and the mechanics that will let you get there. So I'm planning today to do a light and airy, very open line design. Plant material will be coming up here and out here. And I've chosen for that this compote. It's a glass compote. It's an incredibly beautiful rose gold metallic compote. And I'm using as a mechanic this Holly Chapel pillow. We were introduced to this at Garden Club by Trish Skazafava, one of our members, who's an incredible designer and very resourceful about these things. And this is a little close-up of what it looks like. It's 2 layers in a honeycomb. And for a long time, we have used chicken wire as a mechanic to create kind of a pillow in our containers. That would not be good with this one because the metallic paint might scratch off and get damaged. Okay. But this wonderful pillow I've taped with floral tape in 5 or 6 places, so it's nice and secure, and I've added my water. This style would be great with any kind of arrangement. It's contemporary and yet it's classic, and it has a nice deep, the bowl has a nice deep belly so the stems can go in and have pretty good balance.
So where might you use this arrangement in your home? Where might you place it?
Well, this is going to be a statement piece.
Yes.
Be, like this. So I would say on a kitchen island, on a dining table when you're not having dinner at the table. If you pass by your dining room and see it, could go in a nice reception table, but in a room that has a little size to it.
So I do have a question for you. You know, my favorite topic is tape grids
for
your mechanics, right? So for other arrangements, we've used the tape grid, but would that be appropriate to use in this arrangement?
Not really.
Okay.
The stems are going to be long and they're going to have heavy blossoms at the end, so I don't think that would give you enough security.
Right.
I'm hoping and I'm pretty sure this 2-layer pillow is going to do the job.
Okay. And when I say tape grid, it's like the floral tape that you have, the 1/4-inch floral tape, just taping a grid on there, but it's not really a good fit for this arrangement.
Not exactly. And this pillow is really nice too because it arches up. So it allows you to get some very nice angles in the placement.
Well, I'm so excited. I've never used one before, so I'm really looking forward to learning how to use it.
Good. Well, I'm still learning too, so we'll see how it goes.
I have no doubts. It will be beautiful.
I probably should introduce you to the plant material that I'm using today. I'd be happy to do that.
That would be great.
Yeah, this is parviflora, which is a form of eucalyptus. Look at that pretty drape. It's a kind of a blue-green color, beautiful, nice texture, but not too much texture.
Well, and the stems have some red and
yes,
yellow.
And the stems are reddish brown. It's so pretty, very, very pretty. And then I'll be using snapdragons. They're a line flower. And I chose ones with very slender stems because I didn't want this to be too stiff or too rigid.
Okay.
The focal flower is these beautiful anemones. I have to show you them. Aren't they incredible?
Wow, velvety.
Velvet,
Deep,
right, for a queen or a king's robe. Look at this wonderful, almost clown's collar, frill of foliage, and then a nice clean stem. So when these are standing free in the arrangement, they should add a lot of personality. I also have tulips. I'll show you the red ones because we're right here. This is just a simple, it's a Vanco tulip, so it's a good, nice, long stem, and just a simple red color. So it'll be a brilliant color, but a calm in the midst of the storm. And then these crazy parrot tulips.
Yes.
I'll show you these too. These have wonderful green guard petals. I purchased these yesterday, and look how they have opened. They're going
Beautiful.
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, they're so pretty. And then I'm going to add a little Dusty Miller. Foliage is a great way to add distinction to your arrangement, and these suede gray leaves will be a nice addition. We call foliage greens, but there are many shades of green. There's blue-green, as we're seeing in the Parviflora. There are grays, there are browns, the backside of magnolia leaves, there's burgundy, there's yellow. So you can do a lot with foliage. Then I'm going to chuck in a little bit of hellebore. I like how it's sort of bridges foliage and flowers. And I think I'm going to use a couple of these green Fuji mums, probably close to the container to make sure that this mechanic isn't going to show.
Ah,
It's pretty discreet, but have to be a little careful.
so that's one of our cardinal rules.
Don't let your mechanic show. Right. So shall I begin? We ready?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Okay, good. So I'm going to start with this Parviflora. I love it, as I said, because it has a natural arch. I'm going to give it a clean snip. And again, I'm putting this into kind of a large opening here, so we're going to see if these pieces will stay where I want them. They might or they might not. And if they don't, I'll have to shim them with something to kind of make them behave. So it's just twisting and turning just a little bit because it's the new guy on the block, and that's okay. And this we're going to put right in here. Just let these rest right there. Then I want also to, you holding your breath? I'm holding my breath. Is this going to work? I hope so. Then I think, why didn't I use Oasis? Life would be so simple. Why am I worrying about this?
You're being a good doobie for the
I'm being a
environment.
good
You are.
doobie. But honestly, this is just a great mechanic. It's fantastic. But the opening moments are a little hair-raising. And I could have dealt with this by putting a Kenzon in the very bottom of the container and driving the stems into that. That's a little pin holder, has a little needle sticking up. And it's good just to get your first stems in there and secure. But I chose not to do it. I think I can get away without it. So then here, I'm going to shift now to these snapdragons, I'm sorry. And I like that they have a little bit of natural curve to them.
So when you're trimming the bottoms of those, of that plant material before you put it in, is there a particular technique? You do it at an angle or?
I am cutting at an angle.
Okay.
Yes, I am. Theory being there's more surface area for the flower to drink.
Okay.
So that's looking good. Let's see. I love these snapdragons because they have these greenish tops that are so beautiful. And it's always good to have flowers in your arrangement that are trending from bud to full blossom. That's not going to stay. Not right there. So we have to find another spot for that. Let's bring it in here and see if it'll cooperate a little better right there. Great. Sometimes the flowers just need a little talking to, or to take them out and try again.
A little persuading.
Yes, and in this, with this mechanic, it's just no problem at all to take a stem out and place it again. When you're using Oasis, you have to be a little careful. You do have to recut, and of course you've pierced your floral foam, so you've damaged it. Not terribly, but every time you
Right.
poke
And that's
it.
another drawback for the Oasis floral foam, and I've become so accustomed to arranging with it that you just kind of overlook it. But this can also be
Right.
We just have to get used to this, I
We
think.
just have to get used to
Right.
it. We just do. This I'm going to cut one more
Experiment.
time. Probably see me more than once place a stem, and then go back and take it out and cut it again. You can never put back, as you know, what you've taken away, but you can always make a second cut. So I'm going to turn this so that it shows here. Get a sense of this line, you can see it too. And here we go, there. All right, so the bones are here. I've turned this just a little bit. Now I want to add these anemones. As I say, I just think they are incredibly beautiful. I'm looking for good sized ones. Here we go. So let's see if they'll stay in place. If they won't stay in place, I'll tuck a little bit of foliage in to give them some support. There. They might. It's always a guessing game, right?
So how are you selecting the location for these stems? Like, what's the
That's a tough
what's the
question.
formula that you're following here? Is there a formula or a sense that you're?
Oh, that's a good question,
getting?
Katie. Is there a formula? Here, my formula is to be spreading things out. The goal here is light and airy, so I'm turning this very gingerly because I don't want these to move until I get some more material in around,
Yes.
the bottoms of the stems to keep them there. I'm thinking on this, again, I like to think about an image down as a clock, 12, 6, 3, and 9, and the quadrants or directions on a compass, that works as well. So here I'm kind of seeing this in the, like between 2 and 4, and here between 8 and 10, and then I'm kind of coming in the middle here, and placing these so that they're looking in different directions. And
do you how do you choose a number of stems? Is it based on the space you have, or do you always try to have a certain number, like even and odd, or?
well, many people believe that an odd number is the correct way to go, 3, 5, or 7. And I think I often do that. Here I have put 6 of the snapdragons, but I know I'm going to put a few more short ones in the center later. So I'm not too worried about that.
But they're also grouped in 2, 3s, right?
Yes, they're grouped in 3s.
So.
They are grouped in 3s. There. And sometimes I have to put it in to see if I like it. I don't always get it right the first time. Or get it what I think is right the first
So you
time.
sometimes change what you're doing? Like you,
Yes, yes. Okay, so now let's look at this again and see. You're at a disadvantage because you're off to the side.
I am. Peek around the corner.
But I love how these present their faces in different directions. I think that is just spectacular. All right, I'm going to hold right here and move to these parrot tulips. These guys are just crying out, put me in that arrangement. Put me in there.
So when you were shopping, how did you know which flowers that you wanted to buy? Did you have something in mind?
Flag Day, 4th of July, and so it's a red, white, and blue kind of a theme.
Yes.
But the real truth is when I saw these purple anemones, that was it.
That was your linchpin.
That was
Yeah,
it. Like,
okay.
there's my controlling element, and we're going with that. So, yeah. So that's where that happens. I'm going to put a couple of these in, and then I'm going to put some plant material, some foliage in the center there to try to get a little more security, because this is making me very nervous. It's just, because of the state of things, it's just not, nothing's secure quite yet. So, it's always an interesting point in the process, right?
Yes.
If I were working in Oasis, there would be no problem. There. You doing okay? Not completely balanced, but I have more to put in here, so I don't want to go too crazy with this, right? And these are just wonderful. So when we're choosing flowers, we're looking at color, size, form, and texture. And I think I have a very nice variety of that here. These snapdragons have a lot of texture, but it's not too busy. The anemones have beautiful smooth petals, and the fact that they're just a single rosette is just very lovely and calm. Let's try these. The parrot tulips, well, they're just crazy.
They are crazy busy, right?
They're all over the place.
They're a riot.
And when I bought them, they were a lot tighter than that, so I didn't know they were going to do this incredible job of flowing open. So next, I'm going to put a little bit of, let me reach for this, a little bit of this Dusty Miller in here, because this is going to give me a little bit of security. I'm actually going to take these out so I can.
Oh, and that pretty silver color.
Isn't that pretty? I know, sort of suede finish, but I'm looking for these pretty rosettes where you're just looking at the center here. And that, I'll tuck this in to start to just give a little security and a little bit of a framework for what we've got going. Here's another one, very pretty. Turn this for you in just a second so you can get a good look there. So I have to, luckily I can see in here to make sure I'm hitting at least 2 of the openings in this pillow, because that's going to give me some security. It's actually great. You can kind of really just see right in there. What a miracle is that? So let me turn this so I can put one in the back.
So this would be a fabulous style of arrangement to use with garden flowers, right?
It would be.
Either
It
from
would
your
be.
yard or from the local farm stand, such as Landsake.
Yes.
When I go there for my weekly share, I'm always sure to cut a bunch of flowers, and they're so pretty. But the great thing is that many of the stems are pliable, which lends itself to this style of arranging. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and then alternatively, sometimes I go on a scavenger hunt in my own yard and see what I can find. At the worst, though, worst season, in the down season, at a minimum, I can find some greenery, right, from shrubs and things like that. Do you recommend any particular plants, like greenery from my yard that might work for this type of arrangement?
Well, one of my favorites is Leucothoe, especially the dwarf variety. That has a lovely long arching stem with beautiful rich green leaves that come out. So it would do the job of what my Parviflora is doing here. It's a great line material. There we go, look at that. I think that's a little tall, but it looks so cute there.
So what your guiding principle here is the line, which we have from the white.
From the snapdragons.
Snapdragons, thank you.
There you go, look at that. Make sure everybody sees that from the front. And then these tulips are such a relief, like the anemone, just the clarity of their color and form is so welcome right now. Just, we're ready for that.
So those smooth leaf flowers really are important.
They're really important.
To select in each arrangement.
They are there. And I'm going to try very hard not to put too many flowers in this arrangement. So you stop me at some point if it starts to get a little crowded, because I can definitely crowd things up, but I don't want to this time. I really want to keep this light and airy. There. Here we go. So let's tuck a couple more of these in. One of the things I love about our garden club is how we learn from each other. And one of my first experiences when I became a member was we had a workshop on corsage design. And we went to someone's home, and she had prepared a poster with information on how you create a corsage. We all brought pieces of ribbon, and she had some of the mechanics that we needed, and we made corsages, and I was just blown away. I thought, here we are. We're just learning from each other. This is too big. I'll trade these over. We're learning from each other. We're teaching each other. We're congratulating each other, enjoying each other's success. This is just wonderful. And it was just incredible. And it's been like that for me as I've continued to be a member.
We should do another one of those workshops, because I keep thinking I want to be able to make
Yes.
a corsage of some kind, a
Yes.
wrist or
Yes.
a boutonniere or something.
When we were able to meet in person, we gave our new members a corsage. I remember that. That was so nice.
Although I think we're still doing it, or delivering them and giving them to them virtually.
Oh, so here's hellebore. This, again, is lovely in the center. Did you see that snapdragon move?
I did.
Like, wait a second, what are you doing? What are you doing, you rascal? All right. So now I am dealing with a lot of stems down here, and I'm going to have to take this apart. This hellebore, as you see, has this wonderful V shape. That is creating a problem in terms of getting this in, and also this wonderful leaf is creating a little problem too, so just take it off. When you begin arranging, it's very hard to get yourself to trim flowers. It's so easy to just love them just the way they are and have a hard time making them shorter or taking away half their blossoms, but it has to be done. So as you get more experienced, you get better and better at that. You mind it a little less. There. And here, there. So let me turn this again so that there's a nice view of what's happening here. Where else? Oh, we have these Fuji mums. Yeah, let's see if we need those. Let's see if we really do. That touch of brilliant green is always a nice addition. So maybe I should. And I want to add a little bit of material in here because we really want the back of this to be beautiful. But let me just see with these. Whoop. Everybody's jumping out.
Decide which one you want.
That's me.
Okay.
Thank you, Kate. Welcome. Yeah. Let's see. Here, bring this back around. There we go. Okay. We'll just have to wait and let's see. Take this off. These Fujis have an amazing color and an amazing texture, just bottle brushy and great. So look at how that works in there.
Oh,
Isn't that
I love
pretty?
it. It draws your eye right into the middle.
It does. And it's concealing the mechanics, which
Even more important.
which we really want to do. So yeah, so it's a little
And
bit of a
those will
surprise.
probably open up even more, won't they?
I think they will. Yeah,
they're so
I think
pretty.
They definitely will.
One of my favorite
Are they a
flowers.
favorite? Yeah,
They
I
are
love
one of
the
my
color.
favorite
This time of year, the color is really
that, and the green, and then sometimes
magnificent.
I like the white as well
Yes.
for the texture.
Yeah. Yeah. Just have a little bit of this in here, just to bring it around. There we go. All right. Well, I'm thinking that this is pretty close to being finished. My
beautiful.
goodness, I could put more in it, but I don't want to get it too crowded. So I think maybe we can take a break right here, and then we'll go through a little bit of cleanup and a little primping and talk about what we've done.
Sounds great.
Here we are again. We have our light and airy line design here on the turntable. You can see it from the front. I'll turn it slowly so you can see it all the way around. And we have snapdragons, anemone, parrot tulips, a classic tulip, wonderful Dusty Miller, and a little bit of hellebore. And then I've tucked in a couple of Fuji mums just to break the edge of the container and provide a little pop of bright green. What are our takeaways from today? First, we said you have to have a vision before you start your arrangement. What do you want this to look like? That will help you to decide on the container and on the mechanics.
Okay.
And then when you choose your flowers, you're going to think about their color, their size, their form. These have such different forms, and their texture. And you're going to want to be providing contrast and balance. You'll have some dominant elements, and you'll have some other ones. Also, use your foliage to advantage. Foliage we sometimes call greens, but in fact they can be blue-green, yellow, gray, as we see here in the Dusty Miller, and some, like this parviflora, have this lovely brownish, reddish stem that really stands out. We were thinking about season here, anticipating summer, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Flag Day, and all of those great red, white, and blue holidays and times that we're looking forward to now that winter is
Yes,
finally
definitely.
behind us. Yeah.
Definitely.
So for more information on Weston Garden Club, you can visit our website and you learn about programming, membership, and see our educational videos.
And thank you, Carolyn. This arrangement is beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Thank you, Katie. We certainly at Weston Garden Club, we learn from each other and we enjoy working together, learning together, and working with flowers and being in the garden. And we look forward to seeing you again in our floral design series. Have fun arranging.